lot. Just it's a credit to us winning close games, and just my teammates and coaches have my back, and it's a credit to them.
Do you remember your first ever, I guess, clutch basket when you were younger?
I think someone here asked me that, and I answered yes. I think it was you that asked me that. Yeah. So are you gonna ask him?
I'm not gonna ask.
Okay.
Looking at the film of Game 2, what did you see?
A lot of missed opportunities by us. They played great, and we got to bounce back. There's a lot of opportunities where we could be better. I can be better as a team, as a player, and we can be better as a team. So a lot of adjustments we need to make.
Jalen, when you talk about missed opportunities, do you mean offensively, defensively?
On both sides of the ball, yeah, missed opportunities, yes.
What do you feel like was something that you clean up that you missed on offensively for next game?
I mean, there are a couple of possessions where I had some bad shots, and that's on me just to understand the situation where I need to get off of it. But that's on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, we need to be communicating a little better, me individually, and I'm just going to hold myself to a higher standard when it comes to that, and I just need to be better.
When you say get off of it, what do you mean by that?
Pass the ball. You gotta say it in French. Pass the ball.
Can you say it in French?
No.
Jalen, you guys obviously have not shot the ball well as a team for this postseason through 3 games. I know that was something that was kind of lingering the last few months. How much does that play into the psyche of, one, shots just don't fall, but also just making sure you still take good shots? Like, has that been a frustrating point for this team through these first 2 games in the playoffs?
No, because I mean, the game of basketball, yes, the point is to score more points than your opponent. So shot making is the key, but we can't let that affect everything else. And so we focus on the little things. We focus on the stuff, the intangibles. I mean, the offense is going to be there. The offense is going to come. So we just got to focus on the little things to make sure that's primarily our main focus. Because I mean, we're not focusing on just our shot, and the ball will go in.
What do you expect from the environment in there is going to be like today?
It's going to be a great environment. Obviously, their fan base has been waiting for a team like this, and so it's going to be a great environment.
I know Carlo says he's seen every defense by now. Is there something they're doing that makes it tougher to get him involved?
I mean, they're just playing great defense. You got to give them credit. And, they've had a great game plan game 2, and we just need to make adjustments to come back ready for game 3 tonight.
When you've scored so much in the playoffs and the game plan has worked out so well, I mean, you're the class player of the year, you have the ball in your hand so often, and you score so much in those times. Is it hard to, like you said, give it up when you have the ball and you know you've been so effective in those situations?
I mean, there's got to make the right decisions. There's times to be aggressive, there's times to make plays for others, and it's always going to be a learning adjustment. It's never going to be mastered, but I got to continue to work for that. So there's always room for improvement, always room to be better.
Do you think Tibbs sometimes talks about talking to the refs during dead balls and trying to stay away from it when the ball is live? Do you see you guys doing that maybe too much, or what do you see there?
Yeah, we've had a lack of focus when it comes to that. We got to let them do their job, and we got to do ours.
I know you guys go back and watch film after every game. Tibbs watches obviously everything over and over again, and assistants send you clips and everything. Is film watching in the playoffs, considering you're playing the same team over and over again, is it any different just habitually? Like, do you take a different sort of strategy to watching film between games than you would in the regular season?
I don't think it's a different strategy. I think just the duration and the obviously you're playing them as many times as possible. So you're looking for like little things. You're looking for minute details to see where you can gain an advantage. And obviously during the regular season, you have maybe 1, 2, if you're lucky, maybe 3 days to prepare. Yeah, you're just looking for little advantages every single time you're watching.
Oh, sure. Be lively, energetic. It'd be cool to see how they are, because obviously, playing against them, they struggled the last couple of years, and the atmosphere, was lacking a little bit. But now, playoff time.
Yeah.
I wasn't here towards the end of the season, so I'm sure they probably showed out for that. So it'd be cool because you're going to see the growth of, what the organization was and where they are.
Looking back at the film from Game 2, what do you see as some of the issues?
I think we played too slow. We probably could have been more forceful. Myself, just I have to cut out the complaining and talking to refs. So just some of those things, things that's easily fixable. You learn from it, you grow from it, and then you try not to make the same mistakes again.
You said at the beginning of this year that was a point of emphasis for you not to argue with the refs. How much does that take you off your game when you do that, and how do you control that?
It definitely takes you off your game. I think controlling it, that just comes from, within, and just kind of focusing on controlling what you can control. We can't control what they're calling. We can't control, getting our first free throws at 17 seconds on the clock, right before halftime. We can't control those kind of things. We can just control how we respond to it. And I think last game I responded terribly, so I got to make sure I fix that. Cat fixes that, and move on from it.
Josh, when
it's the first time. It's not the first time that it's happened. But how do you feel like you've reacted to mostly centers guarding you in the series? What do you think you've done well? What do you think you could improve on with that strategy against you?
I don't know. I mean, I think I've been, fine with it. Really only like 3 halves. The first one I guess my wife said I was a little too excited, so I was hacking. So I only played like 7 minutes that first half. So game 1. So I feel like I've been solid with it. I think at times I got to make sure, I remember even with the flow of the offense, the roll of the offense, make sure at times remember I'm also a guard, and I don't have to, I can play in those kind of ways and not, act like I'm a 6'8", 6'9", power forward. So, just getting guys good shots, getting guys involved, attacking, playing with pace, and doing those kind of things.
you guys have seen that a good amount though this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is it different with this team because of the personnel like Tobias and Jalen, or is it pretty much the same approach?
It's pretty much the same approach. I think they do it a little bit different. For example, like Boston, like they did it different in Boston. Like, Durant would guard me, but would still kind of be, guarding me, and then like Boston just turned it back to me and just act like I'm not on the court. So it's different. It's different. Different teams do it differently. So for me, obviously, you got to try to figure that out, how they're playing, and attacking that, but also knowing that obviously I have the big on me, but also let's not get away from Cat setting screens and getting himself open or getting other guys open. So it's just a balance, and I think that's what you try to figure out the first couple games.
About the balance with Jalen, because he said that he looked at the film and there were some opportunities where he should have gotten off the ball. Mm-hmm. He's obviously a great scorer. You guys relied on him so often, but so as his teammate, what do you think the balance should be for him taking over or him distributing for his teammates?
Yeah, I mean, you always have that's the toughest part is trying to find that balance. I think him coming in, maybe to start the game, try to get some of these guys involved and get them free flowing and feeling good. You see with Bron all the time. Bron, that was like one thing with Bron. Like come in the first quarter for second quarter, he makes sure he gets his guys involved and gets them into rhythm, and then he takes over when he needs to take over. So, you can take bits and pieces from guys like that. It's part of the reason why I hate, sometimes when 5's on me, because I can't be that other ball handler that brings him up and gets him off the ball. So maybe we'll put Mikal in that role or something like that. So, like I said, it's a feeling out process. But the good thing is it's all fixable things.
Kind of with that, because of Jalen had established himself, and you guys are still a relatively new team, Cat, and Mikal just getting your OG at the half point of last year. In terms of like going to Jalen or anybody on the team and kind of like, hey, I was open here. Hey, we should do this so I can get more shots. Like, is that still a process and guys feeling comfortable in speaking up and trying to like set the tone, obviously in like a positive way, but is that something that?
Yeah, it's that comes with familiarity and trust, and a lot of times you only get that when you go through adverse situations together. So it takes time, and there's times where JB, there was a play with JB, shot a pull-up and Cat wide open. I'm not sure if Cat said something to him, but I know like if Cat goes like JB, like, look at the pop, I'm open on the pop. He's going to look at that, and same thing with Cat, same thing with all those guys. So it's definitely, like I said, a feeling out process. It comes with time, but we're all old enough to know. I think all of our hearts are in the right place. So it's not coming out of any selfish intent. So that's something that we could do more, and we will do more of it.